This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Soyum, Fajardo enter semis, secure bronze at Under-22 Asian Boxing. Trinidad ready to make waves. Philippine wakeboarding star carries flag and hopes in World Games debut. Noah Lyles shoved by Bednarek after 200-meter U.S. title clash. In MLB, Bichette blasts 2 homers. Blue Jays crush Rockies 15-1 in 25-hit rout. In the NBA, the Spurs go all in. De'Aaron Fox is locked in to a $229 million shocker in San Antonio. And let's go down the Philippine basketball memory lane with Doc Rico Mesina. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 5th of August. Now, here's our roundup. Two Filipino boxers are now one step closer to medal glory in Bangkok. Ronel Soyum advanced to the men's 55-kilogram semifinals with a unanimous decision win over China's Xiaoqing Li, despite suffering a cut above his left eyebrow from an accidental headbutt. Mark Ashley Fajardo secured his spot in the Final Four of the 65-kilogram division after outpointing Ukraine's Nikita Pohozyi. This result guarantees another bronze medal for the Philippines. With 2 bronzes already locked in and more action to come, Team Philippines continues to shine in Bangkok. Cable wakeboard sensation Raph Trinidad is gearing up for the ride of his life as he leads Team Philippines into the opening ceremony of the World Games in Chengdu, China. Just 23 years old, he won't be just holding the flag. He'll be carrying the dreams of an entire wakeboarding community when he competes on August 8th at the Sancha Lake Tauhudao Arena. Trinidad, who spent countless hours training at Deca Wake Park in Clark, Pampanga, headlines the second wave of arrivals in Chengdu. Joined by wushu standouts Agatha Wong and Jones Inso, along with wake surfer Eric Ordonez, the World Games, an 11-day extravaganza celebrating non-Olympic sports, will feature thousands of athletes competing across stunning venues, including the locust leaf-shaped Sindu Siangcheng Sports Center and the high-tech Zone Sports Gymnasium. Meanwhile, a larger group led by the 12-man Dragon Boat team, Muay Thai fighter Rudzma Abubakar and duathlon veteran Kim Mangrobang will enter the athletes' village known as Chengdu Home on Wednesday. World-class few artists Rubilen Amit, Cheska Centeno, and Jeff De Luna, along with Asian Games Jiu-Jitsu medalists Annie Ramirez and Kayla Napoles, are set to follow on Friday. There was speed, there was fire, and there was fury after the finish line. In a race that was already electric, the 200-meter final at the U.S. Track Championships ended not just in a photo finish, but in a full-blown face-off, as Noah Lyles edged Kenny Bednarek by 0.04 seconds, then turned the heat up with a shove and a stare-down that lit up Eugene. Noah Lyles took the win, but it was the aftermath that set the track world ablaze. After blazing through the 200-meter in 19.63 seconds, Lyles turned a victory lap into a verbal sparring match, complete with a shove, a stare-down, and a challenge. Bednarek, clearly agitated, didn't hold back in the post-race interview. The clash, which started at the finish line, escalated with Lyles backpedaling like a boxer, throwing words as sharp as his sprints, and Bednarek fuming even after the two shook hands on camera. Bednarek challenged. Lyles replied. There's history between these two. Bednarek has outrun Lyles at the Olympics, while Lyles has dominated the world stage with 3 world titles. But this was personal. Lyles, deflecting further questions, said only, on coach's orders. No comment. The rematch is set for Tokyo, and after this heated battle in Eugene, the world will be watching when these two line up again. Move over, rock stars. There is a new global headliner in town, and they're not holding microphones. They're holding smartphones. Team Liquid Philippines just set Riyadh on fire, claiming the MSC 2025 championship in style. After 3 long years, the trophy finally returns home. MLBB is Philippine territory, and right now, no one's doing it better than the Cavalry. Carl Tizzi and company locked in. They turned the dial up to 11 and never looked back, ripping off 4 straight wins to cap off a dominant 4-1 series. That's not just a victory, that's a full-on crowning. And let's talk the GOAT, Carl Tizzi. The kids got the MPL, the M World title, and now finally the MSC, the Triple Crown. That's not just greatness, that's certified GOAT status in MLBB history. Team Liquid Philippines isn't just winning games, they're winning hearts. In Riyadh, they were treated like celebrities. Fist bumping with fellow greats like Magnus Carlsen and rubbing elbows with royalty. Philippine Esports isn't underdog territory anymore. It's dynasty territory. Kelra, 300 plus kills in MSC history. Let that sink in. The dude's a highlight machine with triggers for fingers. This is a young generation of Pinoy gamers who aren't just competing globally, they're dominating it. And while other regions made waves, Zeta from Japan, Team Secret, Virtus.pro, only one team lit up the finals like a 90s Jordan run. The MSC 2025 isn't just a trophy win, it's a milestone for an entire nation's rise in esports. So for young fans out there thinking dream start on a controller or a ranked match, Filipinos aren't just part of the conversation. We're the ones setting the agenda. And right now, the agenda is this. MLBB's world stage still belongs to the Philippines. Now moving on to Major League Baseball. Bo Bichette went full beast mode, and the Toronto Blue Jays left no doubt in Denver, delivering a 15-1 smackdown over the Rockies in a game that felt over by the second inning. Bichette lit up Coors Field with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs, leading the Blue Jays to a dominant victory. Toronto unloaded a season-high 25 hits with Ernie Clement, setting a career high with 5 of his own, adding 3 runs and an RBI. Dalton Varsho drove in 4, while Nathan Lukes and Joey Loperfido each added 3 hits to the onslaught. The hit party started immediately. Lukes doubled on the first pitch, then scored on a Bichette single just 2 pitches later. In the second, it was Clement and Davis Schneider combining to make it 2-0. The Blue Jays erupted in the 7th with Lukes driving in Clement, Bichette unloading a 3-run shot, and Varsho adding more pain with an RBI single. Toronto, now 66-48, is tied with Detroit for the best record in the American League. The Jays are rolling, and if this game was any sign, they're only just getting started. A massive move just shook the NBA landscape as the San Antonio Spurs secured their floor general for the future, dropping a whopping $229 million to keep De'Aaron Fox in silver and black. San Antonio Spurs aren't playing around, agreeing to a 4-year, $229 million max extension with De'Aaron Fox, according to multiple reports. Fox, who was acquired by the Spurs in a blockbuster trade back in February, averaged 19.7 points and 6.8 assists in just 17 games before a finger injury cut his season short. But now he's back healthy and committed to leading a young, dangerous core that includes Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year Stephon Castle, and number 2 pick Dylan Harper. The extension runs through the 2029-30 season with no player option and no trade clauses, making it a true statement deal from the Spurs front office. Fox, an explosive guard with career averages of 21.5 points, 6.1 assists, and 1.4 steals, now becomes the cornerstone of a franchise looking to return to championship form. The Spurs just sent a clear message to the league. They're done rebuilding and ready to contend. And now here's your daily dose of sports lingo. Guess what trick in wakeboarding shares its name with a toddler's meltdown but looks way cooler on water? It's called a tantrum. And no, it's not a fit of anger. It's a signature backflip move that shows off a rider's style and skill. In wakeboarding, a tantrum is an inverted trick where the rider approaches the wake heel side, then launches into a backflip while letting go of the handle with one or both hands mid-flip. It's a crowd favorite because of its clean arc, bold rotation, and the gutsy commitment it takes to land it smoothly. Pulling off a tantrum is a true test of timing, edge, control, and confidence. Only real riders turn tantrums into tricks and not temper. It's time for our off-court buzzer. Sacramento Kings player development coach, Gilas legend, and Filipino basketball icon Jimmy Alapag believes the NBA is within reach for Filipino players, but warns that staying there is the true battle. Alapag said that the talent, the desire, the skill, it's all there. But he warns, getting in is just the start, and staying in is the challenge. Alapag, who joined the Kings' staff 3 years ago, has become a trusted voice on Filipino talent and their NBA potential. Recently, he was thrust into the spotlight after UAAP MVP Kevin Kiambao missed a shot at joining the Kings' Summer League. Fans thought Alapag could pave the way, but a late arrival and lack of coordination closed the door. By the time Kiambao landed, the roster was already full. Still, Alapag remains optimistic. The Filipino NBA dream is alive, but only those who can prove they belong will stay. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 5th of August. When we return, let's take a trip down memory lane with regards to Philippine basketball with none other than Doc Rico Mesina. Don't miss out on that. Keep it right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. Basketball is still and will always be our nation's passion. It has been ingrained in our culture, everyday life, and deep in the Filipino psyche. We took a trip down memory lane to discover the roots of the sport with no less than Doc Mesina, the SVP representative for historical projects of the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas at the Histo X exhibit. Check this out. At nandito na nga tayo sa SVP booth and we are here with the man himself, Doc Rico. It's good to see you again.
Good afternoon. Nice to meet you again, Sir Anton.
You've been very busy these past 3 days and now we are in the final day of Histo X here at the SVP booth. You have a new role. I want to congratulate you.
Thank
the
you.
SVP representative for historical projects. Could you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah. So basically, that started with the invitation from the National Historical Commission of the Philippines. So they were looking for a representative from SVP to exhibit in this Histo X convention. So this Histo X convention is a celebration of Filipino history and culture. Eh syempre ang basketball, Anton, part siya ng kulturang Pilipino, syempre.
Yes.
So hindi pwedeng mawala yung SVP dito sa event na ito. So ako naman, I'm fortunate kasi nag-reach out si Executive Director Erica D para yayain ako na maging part and ma-represent yung SVP in this particular event.
What is the main message that you want to impart to everybody coming here to try to get to know about the roots of Philippine basketball?
Marami sa kanila ang alam lang nila na pinaka-senior na players, Patrimonio, Meneses, Abarientos. So beyond that, hindi na masyado familiar yung mga young basketball fans natin. So this lecture and then this exhibit also, my aim is to impart to particularly to the present and future generation na our history is not just from the 90s.
Yeah.
So it goes far beyond the 90s, far back to the 1900s.
Everybody knows you as a collector of Philippine sports memorabilia, particularly sa larong basketball.
Yes.
From the 1900s to the 1970s, and you showed some of those pieces of memorabilia on the scorecard. Pero ngayon, you have some new pieces.
Yes.
I guess let's go through them right now. Doc Miko, ito yung pinakabago. Ang
Yes.
bagong jersey partnership ng Gilas Pilipinas at ng Adidas. Could you tell us about the jersey? And of course, napapirma mo na sa lahat ng mga players.
Yes. So as representative of SBP for historical projects, it is also my duty. Now, for example, if Gilas has events or important activities, there should be some memorabilia for that event. So last time, di ba, we had our game against the Macau Black
Yes.
Bears. So in that game, SBP gave me the honor of being there at the locker room, or outside, and also outside the locker room, to have this jersey signed. So we have here the dark and then the light jerseys by Adidas.
Wow, is it okay if I get one of them?
Sure.
Yeah, let me get this white one, the home. Oh,
Okay.
so what do you like about the design? It's a new era for Gilas Pilipinas.
So what I like about this design is that it's very simple, very clean, and if you compare it, it's a bit similar to this one.
Yeah.
So this is a Olympic worn jersey by Ed Roque in the 1960s. So you can see now the evolution
Yeah.
of our Filipinas jerseys from this to that.
1960 tapos ngayon 2025 na. Grabe.
Yes,
And you preserved it so well.
yes. So it's
Ayan.
important to preserve these types of treasures for the future generations of basketball fans.
Siyempre ang pinaka-importante na pirma ang ating head coach, Coach Tim Cone.
Yes.
NSD, never say die. Para sa mga Barangay Ginebra fans dyan. Ayan.
Okay.
Doc, ito, napapansin ko to. Napag-usapan natin to. It was a very hot topic.
Yes.
The 50 greatest.
Okay, so this one, me and my friend from PH Sports Bureau, we made a customized poster of the 50 greatest players. So ito na-announce na, no, yung 50 greatest players natin. And 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Si Doc Miko, balikan niyo yung episode na yun. Okay.
Ayan. So, the goal here is to have them signed by as much of our greatest players as possible.
Yep.
Ano naman, I was fortunate enough na PBA, thank you PBA, for inviting me to the gala event
Yes.
of the 50 greatest players. So, I had them signed by 25 of our players, Sir Anton. So ngayon, medyo konti na lang yung ating bubulutin.
Ang
So
galing.
the goal is to have all of them signed. Siguro for the players who have passed, I can have the relatives or a representative sign their names for them.
Doc Miko, matanong ko lang po kayo, personally, sino po ba yung paborito niyong player dito sa listahan na to?
Personally po, growing up, I was a Ginebra fan
Yes.
in the mid-90s. So my favorite growing up was Marlu.
Marlo
Actually,
Aquino.
because he was hailed as the savior of the Ginebra franchise back then. Kung maaalala ng mga batang 90s, di ba noong 90s?
David Marlo Aquino, 1-2 punch.
Yes, the Matt and Jeff of Ginebra back then. So sila yung parang na-anoint na savior ng franchise. And true enough, nag-champion naman din noong 1997.
Ang susunod na pag-uusapan namin ni Doc Miko, mga historic eras of PBA basketball naman. Abangan nyo sa The Scorecard. So what else do we have, Doc?
Okay, this one is very significant.
Yeah.
So, tingnan mo tong picture na to, Anton, no? Ano tingin mo dito?
Parang
Maaraw ba siya o umuulan?
umuulan dahil nakikita ko, Doc, yung mga payong.
So kita nyo siya yung mga raindrops, no? Kitang-kita natin. So this is a magazine from 1936. So 1936 is the Berlin Olympics, where basketball was first recognized as an official sport. And bahagi doon yung Pilipinas. So kung titingnan natin, ito, yung mga naka-dark uniforms. So those are our Philippine contingent to the Berlin Olympics. And kita mo to, tumitira ng bola.
Yes.
Yung higher arcing shot.
Yeah.
So he's actually Primitivo Martinez.
Wow.
So he's a sweet shooting guard from UST. And he was recognized by the press in the Berlin Olympics as one of the best players in the world. So
Pinoy.
Pinoy.
Isang Pinoy, one of the best in the world.
Yes, it was
Wow.
recognized by the journalists back in Berlin.
A Thomasian.
Yes. So we have now a picture of the 1954 national basketball team. So we have here, meron ka bang nakikilala pa dito or naaninag na familiar na player?
I don't want to guess, but this handsome gentleman right here, is that the big difference?
Actually, he's the one behind this one.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's Kalalilag Saga, number 14. So
Okay.
that 1954 is a landmark year for Philippine basketball because earlier that year we won the Asian Games. And incidentally, this is the medal
oh wow.
that they won during that second Asian Games.
Ang galing. It's amazing how you're able to preserve all of this, Doc.
And then later that year, they would go on to Brazil to have third place in the World Basketball Championships. So yung third place na yon, Sir Anton, siya yung record ng Asian team. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa siya nawawala sa Pilipinas.
In your opinion, Doc Miko, what do you think has to happen for Gilas Pilipinas to reach the heights that we used to reach during those times?
For me, as a fan,
Yes.
so number one, maybe more preparation by our team. So maybe a dedicated team talaga to prepare for our international competitions. And then number two, I think we should widen our net. I mean, take a look, lahat ng sulok ng mundo may Filipino eh. So maybe we can widen our net and then get the best out of the best so that we can bring them together and form the best team possible.
Anything more that you want to share, Doc Miko?
Of course, this one, I want to show you two things.
Of course, I know this man.
Yeah.
The Big J, Robert
So, for
Jaworski.
these two postcards, they represent our basketball for mothers, for fathers. So, yung mga babae ang unang tinuruan ng basketball sa Pilipinas.
Wow.
So, in the Bureau of Education, in their handbook, sports were assigned to both males and females. And basketball being a new sport back then, they were initially assigned to women or to females. So kaya sila yung mga unang tinuruan mag-basketball sa Pilipinas. Eventually, the sport will catch on with the male audience and then they will run away with it. So
Yeah.
kaya ngayon, mostly males yung naglalaro ng basketball.
I do remember WMPBL Commissioner Heidi Ong telling me during our conversation na women were the first ones to play
Yes,
basketball.
that's correct.
Yeah.
But of course, Anton, there's been a resurgence of women basketball.
Again, Doc Miko, we'd like to say thank you for always taking the time out to give us a trip down memory lane and to educate us with regards to the history of our nation's favorite sport. But to you and to everybody watching right now, why do you think it is important for the youth, the next generation, and even the people who have been around for quite some time to know about the history of basketball here in the Philippines?
So basketball has been part of our culture for so many years, and it's important to keep that love or to keep that interest in basketball going. So one of the ways for us to maintain that is to take a look at our very colorful past and then to have some more appreciation of that past. Kasi with that, it will give us the fuel that will help us to better appreciate our present and our future as a basketball nation.
Doc, maraming salamat
Thank
po.
you, Sir Anton.
And more power to you. Congratulations on your exhibit here. Up next, one team fighting for seeding, the other fighting to stay alive. Boston's bringing the power, Mitchell's got the flame. But can the Sparks strike back on home floor? We're about to find out. So keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. All right, let's talk about some WNBA. Indiana Fever, no Caitlin Clark, but still no problem. They rattled off 5 straight without their phenom, including 3 in a row away from home, and they're looking for 4. Standing in their way, though, a Sparks team that just survived 2 overtimes, shut the door on Seattle, and looks nothing like the team we saw in June. Derek Hamby, just ice. Her game winner in double OT had Seattle fans on their feet, for the wrong reasons though. And Rickea Jackson, 27 points. Kelsey Plum, 22 and clutch. The Sparks have won 6 of their last 7, and they're playing their best ball of the season. But let's not ignore what Indiana is doing. Aaliyah Boston is on a tear, 16 and 12 last game, including a monster fourth quarter run to put away Seattle. Natasha Howard dropped 21. Sophie Cunningham hit big shots. They're winning with balance, ball movement, and a chip on their shoulder. The last time these two met, Los Angeles edged out Indiana 89-87. Azura Stevens had 21. Boston had 23. It was a war then. And it's about to be one again. Now, picture this. Kelsey Plum against Kelsey Mitchell. 2 guards who can light it up from deep. Mitchell leads Indiana with 2.3 threes a game. Plum's been a finisher and a floor general. But who wins that battle? That could tilt the entire night. Now here's the X factor. Defense. Indiana's been holding opponents to just 83 points during their streak. They've got length, discipline, and fast hands. Nearly 10 steals a game over the last 10. But don't forget this. The Sparks are just 3 and 9 at home. Yeah, it feels weird to say, but they've been a road dog team. And if Indiana comes out aggressive, takes away easy looks early, that crowd could go quite real fast. Quiet. I've got this one going down the wire. Fever, they're the favorites. Boston out-tops Hamby in the post. Mitchell, she finds her stroke. And Indiana grabs their 4th straight road win, even without Clark. So stay ahead of the game as the WNBA playoff picture comes into focus. Every game, every possession is starting to feel like a must-win. And here's your full court look. What's next? And that's a wrap on our WNBA preview. The Fever are on a mission. The Sparks are firing back. The intensity is rising and the clock's ticking. So tune in, lock in, and as always, keep your eyes on the prize. So before we go, think on this. From a quiet kid in South Korea who became a dominant force in esports, Lee Faker Sang-yuk once said, "Every single person who succeeded in life has experienced failure at some point. So it's important not to lose yourself in the emotions from success and failure." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.